What's up everyone, it is Natalie here, and today I am filming such an exciting video. It is a video that I have been wanting to film for literally forever. I could cry thinking about it, but I am finally filming my apartment hunting video for New York City. So excited. So I am going to have two videos out in this little mini series, and then I'm also going to have another video later come out about the whole apartment process, like what all you need if you are planning on coming to New York and wanting to live in New York, just the stuff that I have learned as a first-time renter in New York City. Me and my roommate have learned so much about all of this, like, oh my gosh. I'm finally filming an apartment hunt video. So this is part one, and I will be showing you guys 4 apartments that I toured, and none of these 4 are actually going to be our apartment, but I definitely was not expecting, I guess, the process to go how it did. I knew finding an apartment in New York was hard, but I don't think I realized how hard it actually was. I feel like you always think like, oh, New York City, like, I know it's expensive, but I mean, you can still find something that you love, but it's like really hard to find an apartment that you really, really love and feel at home in, especially coming from North Carolina, when just like the size and quality of life is so different than in New York City. It's just a totally different world, and it did shock me even though I have been there so many times. But anyways, I don't think I introduced myself. So hey, I'm Natalie. If you stumbled upon this video, I live in North Carolina right now, and I am moving to New York City, and it's literally been my dream to move to New York City since I was like 9 years old. I've always told myself that I would live there. I told my parents I would live there. Like, I've just always loved it so much. I go to New York any chance I can. It's just felt like home to me for a very long time, so I'm really excited to actually make it my home. And I'm currently living in my parents' house right now. That's why I have a different background, because I subleased my apartment out so that I can finally move to New York City. So I am moving to New York with a roommate. My roommate is already in New York City. She's living right now in temporary housing, so she is doing like month-to-month leasing, and her name is Pranaya. I'm so excited for you guys to meet her. I guess meet her more because she's already been in my vlogs, but really excited to live with her because New York, I've heard like scary roommate stories, and I definitely wanted a roommate because I mean, it's expensive, and I wanted a roommate to lower the cost. And if you guys are going to New York City, I definitely recommend getting a roommate because it lowers cost significantly. So I mean, I would just like definitely recommend finding a roommate. But I was just grateful that I didn't have to find one on like Facebook or anything. Like, it was already a really good friend of mine that happened to be moving there when I was also planning on moving there. Our hunt was for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. 2-bedroom, 2-bath would be nice, but we were very realistic in that. Like, there's no 2-bedroom, 2-baths. I mean, there is, but like, chances are with our budget, we didn't really have that. And our budget was about starting at $4,000, and then eventually it kind of got up to $4,500 once we started seeing apartments. $4,500 was on the upper end. We didn't really want to pay that, but we were willing to see apartments that were worth $4,500 to see if we really liked them and they were worth it, then we would pay it. But like, we really tried sticking to $4,000. And then once we kind of started our apartment hunt, we set a more, I guess, realistic goal for us with our like criteria that we wanted to about $4,200. So $4,000 would have been on the low end, $4,500 the high end, and realistically we hoped that we would get something for around $4,200. So that was kind of our price point going into it. I will tell you guys the prices for all of them because I do want to be as transparent as possible, and saying prices is really scary because spending over $2,000 a month on rent is a lot. Like, I am not going to lie and sit here and be like, it is not a lot, like, it's so cheap. Like, no, that is very expensive, and New York City is one of the most expensive cities in the world. For what you're getting and you're paying so much, like, you're really just paying to live there because the apartments aren't nice. And I do know that it is a high budget, so I don't want to get like judged on my budget. I just wanted to share it because I want to be helpful, because I feel like watching apartment videos that don't really say the price are kind of like, I wish I knew how much it costs, you know. So I really did want to just be as transparent as possible. That's our search. I worked with a company called Loftey, and no, they're not sponsoring this at all, but I did work with them and I wanted to promote them because they help so much. Okay, so this first apartment that we saw was in Soho, so a really great area of New York. Our search was limited to Lower Manhattan. We did not want Upper East Side, we didn't want Upper West Side, we didn't even really want like Chelsea or absolutely no to Midtown. Like, I refuse to live in Midtown. I would rather live literally anywhere else. I don't know why I hate Midtown so much. It's like not fair for me to hate it that much, but like every time I'm in Midtown, I'm like, oh my god, get me out of here. We started there and in Soho. So this location of this first apartment was really, really nice. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was in a really great spot. Really safe area, a ton of cute like restaurants, coffee shops, stores all around. Like, it was a really, really, really great first apartment to see, and I'm pretty sure it was on like the 2nd or 3rd floor, so it wasn't bad. It was a walk up. So we go up there and the room is tiny. Like, it is so tiny. So I was like, okay, this is my first apartment that I'm seeing. This is New York. I go in there and first of all, it's like the messiest thing I've ever seen. A guy is currently living there and it was so disgusting. Like, there was food out, there was like drawers that weren't closed, there was stuff everywhere, clothes were all over the floor. The bathroom, you guys, it had poop in it. He didn't flush the toilet, and I like tried filming it, but like the guy was just like staring at me as I was like filming, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to like zoom into your toilet, so I'm just gonna I don't know. The toilet actually had poop in it that was not flushed, and I was just like, dude, how do you live that way? Also, like, how do you bring someone to your apartment when it looks like that? Besides that, I tried seeing past the mess because I was just like, okay, obviously it will be cleaned when me and my roommate move in. So you go in, you see that you're like basically right into the kitchen, and there's also a washer and dryer, which is a huge plus and such a luxury in New York. And it's actually pretty nice. It's all new appliances. It has like a mini dishwasher, full-size fridge. Like, there's very little counter space, but I mean, I've seen worse. So the kitchen wasn't horrible, but there was just like no place to really walk. Like, you couldn't really have like more than one person really like walking by. Like, it was very tight space, and the living room was really small, so we couldn't really have, we had either had to have like a living room or like a dining room. Like, you couldn't have both, and I was just thinking like, where are we gonna eat? Like, there's no place to really put a table here or even like a bar stool. Like, it just seemed very tight with like a couch and then a TV, and just the setup seemed a little weird. One of the bedrooms did not have a closet in it, so that was automatically a no. Like, we just can't be in a place with only one closet. Like, that was automatically in my mind like, no, scratch that. And same with Pernea's, so that was good. But one of the rooms had windows. It was a tiny room, but it did not have a closet. And then the other room had the exposed brick and was just like really dark and really like, I don't know, it just like wasn't very nice at all. So that first one, we were just like, okay, no. And the fact that it was so dirty like really grossed me out, and I know I need to see past that because like I'm not moving into with this guy, like I'm not living with him, but like, I don't know, I didn't love it. So that one was automatically no because of the one closet and just how like tight it was. Like, I didn't really love it at all. But this one's price for a 2-bedroom 1 bath in Soho was $4,100. And then the next place we saw was in Lower East Side. This one was in the most amazing location. It was on Ludlow Street, which if you guys are familiar with New York, it was like right across the street from Mr. Purple and like right next to a dry bar. So like that was the location of this apartment. Lower East Side, we were really looking into because you can get more affordable like new apartments in Lower East Side. So we definitely did like look down there in that area, and it's a lot of where like people go out, and there's a lot of restaurants and bars, so it is like a fun place, but it does get like kind of loud, I've heard. So this one was again another like 2nd or 3rd floor walk up. Like, it wasn't really bad. And this one of the bedrooms did not have a window, and we were just like, who's gonna take the bedroom with no window? I have to have a window for light because of filming, so I like automatically got like, we kind of like established I would get the room with the most light. And like the fact that that one didn't have a window, she was like, I'm not gonna live in a room with no window. And I mean, I would never. I feel like that would just get so depressing. So it was really small too. Like, I didn't know where we could put like the living room and the couch and I don't know, like the dining room and stuff like that. So like, we just didn't really love this one. It was cute, but like, I don't know, just the no window, the tiny space, the tiny kitchen. The bathroom was nice, but you know, it didn't sit well with us. And also this one also had a washer and dryer in the unit, which again, huge luxury for New York. And the location of this one was amazing. So I will say that, like, I loved the location. It was walkable, it was next to a subway. Like, it was just like, it was a great location. But This one's cost was $3,800, so it was a little cheaper because it was Lower East Side versus Soho is a much more expensive area to live in Manhattan. The next apartment that we saw was one that I had seen online, and I was like, this is our apartment. Like this, the price is amazing. It's in Lower East Side. It's like such a nice apartment. It has a patio, it's big, it has washer dryer in the unit, it has a kitchen island, like what? Like huge rooms, you know, so I was just like, this is our apartment. It has an elevator, like it's a nice building, it's new. The building was built in 2010. It was like a very new building, and Lower East Side does have a lot of those as well. So I was just like, this is our apartment, like yay, we found it, we don't have to look anymore, you know. We go in and the building is fine. We go up to the 5th floor, I think, on the elevator, and this one, it was huge. Like it actually was such a huge apartment. So this one was very, very large, like I said, and it had a kitchen island, it had dishwasher, it had stove, it had microwave, it had all the kitchen appliances, washer, dryer, you know, so like it wasn't missing anything like that. Hardwood floors. It also had a patio, which was really nice, like a full-size patio that you could have multiple people on. Like it was like really, really nice. The rooms were huge. They both had closets. There was an additional closet in the living room. The bathroom was huge. Like it was a really, really great looking on the outside apartment. But just going in, I don't know, I didn't feel that much like at home in it, and also it was so dirty, and I asked if we would get this cleaned, and the lady, the realtor was really, really rude, and she was like, I mean, it looks clean to me. And literally there was like stuff on the ground, there was holes in the wall that I was like, are those gonna get fixed? And she's like, probably not. And I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna live in an apartment with like holes in the wall. And she's like, I mean, it looks fine to me. Like it was just like very bad vibes from the realtor. And then the downside to this, so besides all of that, like it was very, very dirty and didn't feel clean at all. And also like the building didn't really feel clean at all. And just like, I don't know, all of that, the realtor was like so rude too. The location was actually pretty bad. Even though it was in Lower East Side, it was further away in Lower East Side. It was around nothing. It was just next to like a pizza place and like a random, like it wasn't around any like shops, any restaurants. It wasn't around a lot of people. There was like a lot of little like parks around and stuff, but it wasn't, I didn't feel like safe in that area. Like I didn't feel like if I was walking alone at night, I would feel comfortable because there's like a bunch of people around. Like it felt very, very isolated where I didn't want to walk alone by myself at night. So the area was like not the best. And then when I looked up the crime in that area, that block had a lot of crime. And so I was just like, okay, I don't really, me and Pranaya both were like, yeah, we did not like it. It was further away from her work, so she was also like, I don't really love it. And the building also did have a rooftop and a gym. The gym was like in the basement and like wasn't nice or anything like that, but it was nice having that option. And then the rooftop was really, really cool. So the fact that I had a rooftop was like huge. So that was one thing, but I thought I would love it online. And then when I saw it in person, I was like, this is not it. And that one also was $4,200, so it was affordable. I hate saying affordable because $4,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment is not affordable anywhere besides New York, and that's not even affordable, but it was less than like what other ones for that size would be. But I think it was because of the area, and also just like the building itself didn't look like it was taken care of. Even though it was new, I was like, do I trust this management company, you know? So did not love it. Then we went to another one the next day, and this was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and I fell in love with this one. This one was so nice. It was huge. First of all, you walk in, it's on the 3rd floor, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. It got like decent light. The living room didn't have a window, but like it had kind of a window into the other room that had a window, so you could get natural light in there, if that makes sense. But the 2 bedrooms had windows. They had exposed brick. It was hardwood floors. The kitchen had like all the appliances. It had washer, dryer. I mean, it was like a very, very like decent sized rooms. They both had closets with like decent sized closets. One of the rooms had like a little patio, not like a full-size one, but one where like you could kind of like step out and stuff like that. So that was really nice. It had 2 bathrooms, which is just unheard of in New York, which they were both like very, very decent sizes. It was just like a marvelous apartment. Like I fell in love with it. This one was in East Village, and I really love East Village, but this area, like the street that it was on, I didn't particularly love the street that it was on. And I was just like, okay, let me just see like what else you have. And also this one was $4,500, so it was definitely upwards of our budget, and because of the 2 bathrooms, and we were just like, do we need 2 bathrooms? Like, is this something that we're willing to spend that extra $300 on? Because I don't know, I mean, like, yes, 2 bathrooms is nice, but like, I don't know if I really need it. Yeah, so we ended up not going with this one, even though I really, really did love it a lot. It was just, I mean, I had everything I wanted, but it just was not a good fit for like the budget with like what we were looking for in the area. Because like, since the street wasn't like the absolute best street to be on, I didn't want to like pay $4,500. And I was just like, okay, I think we can do better. And also when I walked into this building, the door was unlocked for like the front door for the security, and like that, or actually it wasn't even unlocked, it was wide open, and like no one was there. And I was waiting for the realtor for like 25 minutes and like never closed. So to me, that just made me sketched out for like security reasons and stuff like that, especially not being in my favorite street, I guess. Like, I don't know, I was just like, I don't like that this isn't like it didn't feel safe to me. So I personally did not love that, like the whole package of that one, you know. And if I'm paying $4,500, I want to literally get every single thing on my checklist. That is it for the apartments that I'm going to show in this video. Again, like I said, none of these are my apartment, so stay tuned to keep watching to see what is my apartment. But I definitely had a lot of fun touring apartments. I really did enjoy it. I didn't realize how stressful it was, and I didn't realize how little you get in New York for the prices that you pay. And I know we are going to be paying more money. I know so many people are going to comment, live in Brooklyn, live in Queens, live in the Bronx, live in Long Island City, live in Hoboken, even Upper East Side is a lot cheaper, Upper West Side is cheaper. Like, I understand all of that. We just want Lower Manhattan, and we are willing to pay more to be in a location that we prefer. And there's nothing against the other boroughs, there's nothing against like anywhere else. Like, honestly, next year, like, I'll probably move to Brooklyn or something because I have friends that live there, and it's literally the cutest thing ever, and I like love it so much. So like, who knows, maybe I'll move there, even though I know Brooklyn is getting super, super expensive too. But anyways, it's just like, this is just what we wanted, and I wanted to be transparent with our budget with you guys. So I'm being honest here, but it was a lot of fun touring in these apartments, and also really, really stressful. And one of the things I learned is like, don't be too picky. I think we went into it very picky. We went into it like, we want washer dryer, we want dishwasher, we want a huge living room, we want a place to put a dining table, we want big bedrooms, we want 2 closets, we want a nice bathroom, we don't want to be past the 3rd floor, we want a good, really great location where you can walk everywhere. And like, you just have to pick and choose on some things. I think the most important thing to stick to is your budget and making sure that you can afford it, because the approval process is a huge B word. Anyways, I will talk more about that in my following videos, but I really hope that you guys are enjoying this series. I know it's the first episode, but I'm going to do a lot of like New York series, and I'm going to do a move-in vlog and a move-out vlog for here, and all of that, and my apartment tour. And I can't wait for you guys to see the apartment that I did end up choosing. So I'm going to be moving out in about 2 weeks from now. It's really, really, really soon if all goes to plan. Stay tuned. But that is it for this video. If you guys live in New York and have any tips or want to share your funny apartment hunting stories, share them down below. I hope that this helped. I hope that including the prices helped you guys to kind of like see what you guys can get in certain areas. Again, also, if you move outside of the city, if you move to even Upper East Side, you can get a lot more for your money. We just cared #1 about location. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.